He doesn't hate the world, he just doesn't understand why it keeps lying to itself. The Sigma male lives in a reality where authenticity is rare and social masks are the norm. Unlike alpha males who thrive in dominance hierarchies or betas who follow the crowd, Sigmas reject both roles and forge their own path. He doesn't scream for attention because he doesn't need validation from the outside world to feel worthy. Instead, he turns inward, finding strength in solitude and clarity in silence. His refusal to march in line isn't rebellion for rebellion's sake, it's a conscious choice to avoid a system that often rewards conformity over creativity and noise over depth. While others chase popularity, titles and shallow wins, the Sigma male questions the script. Why are people so eager to blend in when standing out reveals their truth? Why accept cultural programming that leads to burnout, fake friendships and hollow ambition? To him, society isn't a place to perform. It's a system to observe. He studies it like a puzzle, noticing the contradictions most ignore, smiling faces hiding sadness, loud voices lacking wisdom, and busy lives empty of purpose. Where others see success in constant motion, he sees distraction. Science even backs this mindset. Introverts and independent thinkers often score higher in creative problem solving and show increased activity in brain regions linked to deep thought and self-reflection. The Sigma male simply lives in this gear more often. He doesn't chase status because peace is his prize. He doesn't speak just to fill the silence. He waits until his words matter. And he doesn't crave attention because true power in his world is found in detachment. This isn't arrogance, it's discernment. It's the quiet confidence of someone who knows the world is loud for a reason, to drown out truth. In this video, we'll explore the unique way the Sigma sees the world, not through the lens of superiority, but through a refusal to dance with illusions. Welcome to Brain Boosters, where we dive into the mind of a man who walks alone, not because he's lost, but because he knows exactly where he's going. Number 1, emotional overexposure. A Sigma male doesn't suppress emotion. He studies it, dissects it, and refines his relationship with it. While many in today's society feel compelled to broadcast every emotional wave as if it's a live event, the Sigma male takes a quieter, more deliberate route. He doesn't see the value in emotional outbursts or dramatic displays of vulnerability performed for digital applause. To him, emotional strength is not about how intensely you feel, but how intelligently you manage those feelings. In a world where overexposure is equated with authenticity, the Sigma male recognizes the flaw in this thinking. He views unfiltered expression as a form of emotional chaos, not courage. This isn't stoicism for the sake of appearance, it's emotional intelligence in action. According to psychologist Daniel Goleman, emotional regulation is one of the cornerstones of emotional intelligence, and it has been repeatedly linked to higher success rates in relationships, leadership, and overall well-being. The Sigma male embodies this principle. He doesn't lack emotion, he's simply not ruled by it. When others explode in anger or dissolve into tears for external validation, the Sigma quietly processes his experience, evaluates the meaning behind it, and allows himself to respond, not react. He isn't cold, he's calculating, not in a manipulative sense, but in a conscious one. Like a skilled archer who doesn't fire every arrow, he waits for the right moment, the right reason. Emotions are not his enemy, nor his master. They are instruments of understanding and depth. The performative vulnerability so popular in modern culture seems exhausting to him. Why should every heartbreak be narrated, every joy announced, every setback filmed? The Sigma doesn't perform his feelings, he refines them in solitude. His emotional world is intense, not in volume, but in depth. He prefers clarity over clamor and insight over impulse. While others may see this as emotional distance, it's actually emotional discipline. The Sigma male knows that true maturity isn't about emotional suppression, but emotional precision. He whispers to himself in a world that screams, and through that whisper, he hears the truth. That's his quiet superpower. He's not emotionally detached, he's emotionally deliberate. In a society that races to share every emotion in real time, the Sigma male slows down, listens inward, and speaks only when his emotions have something meaningful to say. He isn't avoiding emotion, he's mastering it, and in that mastery he finds peace. Number 2, blind loyalty to systems. Society runs on invisible scripts, silent codes of behavior that tell us what to want, who to be, and how to live. These scripts are so ingrained that most people never even realize they're following them. From childhood, we're taught to believe in a predictable formula. Go to school, get good grades, secure a job, climb the corporate ladder, buy a house, retire at 65, and then maybe enjoy what's left of life. It's a comforting narrative because it offers a roadmap, but comfort isn't always truth. Sigma males see through this illusion, not because they're rebels, but because it simply doesn't resonate with their inner compass. They aren't wired to blindly obey, they're wired to question. And when they look around and see that, according to a Gallup report, over 70% of employees are actively disengaged at work, it confirms their suspicion. This path, the so-called right way, doesn't work for everyone. A Sigma male doesn't hate structure, he just won't kneel to it unless it serves a real purpose. The 9-to-5 grind isn't inherently bad, it just feels soul-numbing when it's stripped of meaning. Sigmas value autonomy over acceptance, purpose over prestige. They can't understand why originality is often sacrificed at the altar of conformity. After all, history's greatest minds, Einstein, Da Vinci, Tesla, were not products of compliance, but of divergence. Steve Jobs dropped out of college and built Apple. Elon Musk sleeps in factories to innovate. These aren't mere anecdotes, they're testaments to a mindset that chooses impact over instruction, freedom over fear. And that's the Sigma blueprint, not to reject society, but to transcend it. To outsiders, this path looks lonely, uncertain, even dangerous. But for the Sigma, the real danger lies in spending decades playing it safe while passion and creativity atrophy. He's not impressed by corner offices or six-figure salaries if they come at the cost of his authenticity. He's not moved by applause if he had to wear a mask to earn it. Where others chase promotions, he chases purpose. Where others seek validation, he finds meaning in solitude. The Sigma doesn't just think outside the box, he lives outside of it. His life is a custom design, not a mass-produced template. While the world sticks to its scripts, he becomes the unscripted chapter, the one people remember, not because he followed the rules, but because he had the courage to write his own. Number 3, shallow power games. Sigma males don't play to win popularity contests, and that alone baffles most people. In our society, success is often measured by how many people know your name, how loudly you can sell your brand, or how smoothly you can dominate a conversation. From corporate offices to friend circles to dating scenes, many people rely on charisma, social maneuvering, or status symbols to climb the social ladder. But the Sigma male operates on an entirely different wavelength. While others are busy jockeying for attention, he quietly observes from the sidelines, decoding social dynamics like a silent strategist. He sees the cliques forming, the egos inflating, and the status games unfolding, but he's not compelled to play along. It's not that he doesn't understand the game, he just finds it pointless. He doesn't crave applause, he values authenticity. Where others seek to impress, the Sigma seeks to understand. He's not in a race to outshine others because to him, greatness doesn't need an audience. In fact, studies in psychology have shown that individuals with high emotional intelligence often speak less and observe more. Traits commonly found in Sigma males. They're self-reliant, inwardly driven, and not threatened by solitude. The Sigma male respects genuine strength, but not the kind that's shouted through a megaphone. He prefers quiet power, the kind that doesn't demand validation. While others chase influence through visibility, he builds influence through integrity, discipline, and consistency. His presence alone can shift a room's energy, not by shouting, but by simply being centered and unshakable. That's why the Sigma male often confuses people. They can't figure out how someone can have such influence without seeking it. And this quiet, almost mysterious detachment makes him compelling. To the Sigma, the loudest man in the room is usually the most insecure, compensating for something internal. He, on the other hand, would rather lead through example, not persuasion. His power lies not in the volume of his voice, but in the weight of his character. And in a world addicted to noise, a man who leads in silence stands out more than anyone, screaming for the spotlight. Number 4, forced social rituals. Why pretend to care when you don't? That single question echoes endlessly in the mind of a Sigma male. In a world that often demands politeness over honesty and social rituals over genuine connection, the Sigma male sees through the performance. He doesn't hate people, far from it, but he struggles to understand the obsession with shallow engagement. Why are meaningless office parties, forced conversations, or obligatory weekend plans considered necessary? For him, these things aren't just exhausting, they're illusions of connection. Science even backs up the emotional toll of inauthenticity. Research in psychology shows that engaging in surface acting, pretending to feel emotions you don't, leads to emotional exhaustion and burnout. Sigma males avoid this emotional trap by choosing authenticity over approval. They value time like an investor values capital. Every minute spent must yield something meaningful. Growth, insight, laughter, or depth. Anything less is a bad trade. While extroverts may thrive on quantity of interaction, Sigmas seek quality. They aren't afraid of silence. In fact, they respect it, knowing that silence often speaks more honestly than words ever could. If the conversation doesn't feed the soul or spark the mind, they'd rather not speak at all. And when they walk away from shallow connections, they don't flinch or offer long explanations, because presence without meaning is simply absence in disguise. It's not about arrogance, it's about alignment. The Sigma male moves by a compass that points inward toward personal truth. And in a world addicted to performance and approval, his refusal to fake interest is not rudeness, it's rare integrity. While others may see his detachment as cold, it's actually clarity. He sees no value in pretending to care when the connection doesn't move him, and rather than wear a social mask, he'd rather be alone, honestly, quietly, and peacefully alone. And number 5, manipulative relationships. One thing Sigma males detect almost instantly is manipulation. It's like a sixth sense, an unspoken radar that picks up on emotional traps, passive-aggressive behavior, and subtle power plays. Whether it's a clingy friend who constantly guilts them, a partner who plays mind games, or a boss who thrives on control through intimidation. The Sigma sees through it almost immediately. His mind isn't clouded by the desire for approval or the need to belong. But what puzzles him isn't the manipulation itself, it's the fact that so many people stay in these toxic dynamics even when they know it's destroying them. He watches people ignore glaring red flags, excuse abusive behavior, and romanticize emotional pain, all to avoid being alone. It's something he simply can't relate to. You see, the Sigma male is fiercely independent by nature, operating outside the traditional social dominance hierarchies where alpha and beta roles dominate. Studies in psychology often show that people with high self-agency and self-awareness, traits common in Sigmas, are far less susceptible to emotional manipulation because they value autonomy over approval. While others might interpret emotional dependence as love or loyalty, the Sigma sees it for what it is: entrapment. He understands that staying in emotionally manipulative relationships out of fear of loneliness isn't a sign of love, it's a sign of self-neglect. To a Sigma, the cost of inner peace is non-negotiable. He doesn't bargain his sanity to avoid silence. He'd rather walk alone with clarity than march with a crowd into chaos. Being alone is not his weakness, it's his reset. It gives him the mental space to see people for who they are, not who they pretend to be. And that's why Sigma males rarely tolerate manipulation. They don't play emotional chess to earn affection or status. They withdraw, detach, and disappear the moment they sense they're being pulled into something fake or controlling. They've learned that freedom is priceless, and no amount of temporary comfort is worth a long-term soul wound. While others stay tangled in the web of emotional games, hoping it'll somehow get better, the Sigma walks away without flinching, because he knows peace isn't found in pleasing others. It's found in protecting your energy, choosing solitude over chaos, and never letting anyone write your emotional script. Number 6, worship of busyness. Hustle, grind, no sleep, repeat. It's the modern mantra of a world addicted to busyness, where burnout is worn like a badge of honor and productivity is measured in hours sacrificed. But to the Sigma male, this culture of constant motion isn't impressive, it's pure madness. He watches the chaos from a distance, not out of apathy, but out of clarity. Why would anyone celebrate exhaustion as though it's the price of greatness? Why has stillness, a moment to think, breathe, and reflect, been rebranded as laziness? The Sigma doesn't buy into the hype. He moves with purpose, not panic. His steps are calculated, his energy conserved like a precious resource, because he knows that rushing leads to ruin. Modern research backs him up. Studies from the World Health Organization have shown that overwork and chronic stress contribute to serious health risks, including heart disease, anxiety, and even premature death. In contrast, deliberate focus and mindful pacing, like that practiced by elite athletes and top-performing CEOs, yield far better long-term results. The Sigma doesn't try to do everything. He zeroes in on what truly matters. He understands the power of deep work, a concept popularized by productivity expert Cal Newport, which involves minimizing distractions and giving full attention to high-impact tasks. For the Sigma, time isn't something to kill or fill. It's sacred. He guards it fiercely, treating each hour as an investment, not a commodity. While the world brags about 16-hour days and sleepless nights, the Sigma sees through the illusion. He knows that success isn't found in doing more, but in doing better. And while others are sprinting toward burnout, trying to prove their value to a world that's never satisfied, the Sigma is building slowly, intentionally, something that will last. He doesn't need applause or recognition. His reward is in the results, measured not in likes or followers, but in impact, freedom, and peace. He chooses quality over quantity, clarity over chaos, and mastery over momentum. In a world addicted to speed, the Sigma thrives in silence. While others chase the spotlight, he carves out a legacy in the shadows. Number 7, fear of solitude. The final thing the Sigma male can't quite comprehend is why so many people fear their own company. It baffles him. He observes a world that is constantly running from itself, plugged into playlists, binging on shows, addicted to scrolling, clinging to constant company like a lifeline. People treat silence like a threat and loneliness like a disease. But for the Sigma male, silence is not empty, it's full of answers. He doesn't see solitude as something to escape. He sees it as a sacred space. Neuroscience even backs this up. Studies have shown that intentional solitude can boost creativity, enhance focus, and promote deeper emotional intelligence. In a world suffering from chronic distraction, the Sigma male's ability to be alone becomes his secret weapon. He understands that the mind needs silence the same way the body needs rest. In stillness, he sorts his thoughts, observes the world from a distance, and refines his inner compass. While others fear the void of being alone with themselves, he ventures into it willingly, almost eagerly. He doesn't just sit in the silence, he explores it, he reflects, he learns, he recalibrates. Solitude to him is not exile, it's elevation. It's where he fine-tunes his strategy, realigns with his purpose, and recharges his independence. Unlike extroverts who draw energy from social interaction, or even introverts who may prefer calm settings but still seek emotional connection, the Sigma male is in a category of his own. He thrives in solitude not because he has to, but because he chooses to. It gives him clarity in a world that thrives on confusion. It sharpens his instincts in a society that rewards herd behavior. And it reminds him that true strength is never found in a crowd. It's found in the quiet moments when no one is watching. He's not interested in fitting in, being seen, or being validated. That was never the goal. The goal was truth, precision, mastery. And for the Sigma, the only way to attain that is through deep, unfiltered solitude. So while the world keeps turning up the volume to drown out its discomfort, the Sigma male keeps tuning into his own frequency, quiet, focused, unbothered. In that space, he doesn't just find peace, he finds his edge. And that's something society may never fully understand, but he's not waiting for their approval anyway. A Sigma male doesn't move with the world, he studies it. While most people rush to fit in, adopt trends, and follow the crowd, the Sigma quietly observes from the sidelines. He's not detached because he's disinterested. He's detached because he's discerning. The world is a whirlwind of noise, social expectations, digital distractions, superficial norms. And rather than get swept away in that current, the Sigma chooses stillness. He watches, he analyzes, he learns, but he does not conform. That refusal to conform isn't born from rebellion, but from wisdom. He understands something most people don't. That clarity doesn't come from joining the noise, but from stepping away from it. He doesn't try to comprehend every twist and turn of society because he knows not everything in this world is meant to make sense to someone who sees through the illusion. Paradoxically, it's not ignorance that causes his confusion, it's awareness. Aware that the systems around him are built on contradictions, half-truths, and hidden agendas. Aware that many people are asleep to their own potential, shackled by the need for validation. This awareness makes the Sigma appear out of sync with the world, but in truth, he's simply more attuned to what lies beneath the surface. Psychology backs this up too. People who score high in traits like introversion, analytical thinking, and independence often struggle to resonate with mainstream culture, yet thrive in self-directed, purpose-driven paths. That's the Sigma in action. His confusion is not the same as being lost. It's the healthy tension of being awake in a world that wants you asleep. And when you're truly awake, you become a mirror, reflecting back a truth that others aren't ready to see. This makes the Sigma a mystery to many, a threat to some, and an inspiration to the few who recognize what he really is. Something different, something rare, something unforgettable. So stay curious, stay unseen, stay unfazed. Because when you're not one of them, you don't need their approval. You just need to keep moving with clarity, even if the rest of the world is stuck in confusion.